I want you to imagine this. You are sitting on the edge of your kid's bed and you're listening to their little voice tell you about their day. And in your head, you are just replaying tomorrow's meeting, or you're stressing about the Slack messages or the emails that are piling up. You are physically there, you are present, but you are not really there. And that's the moment that so many founders dread, when the business you built to create freedom ends up stealing your presence. So today, I want to show you why that happens, how to scale your business without ever missing the moments that matter most. And I can speak to it because I've struggled through it. I have 6 little ones. I homeschool, and there are moments where I am there, but I am not there. And I've had to do and implement things to help get me up out of the weeds and the chaos of the hamster wheel of entrepreneurship and really set myself up to truly be present, to live by the values I preach. I'm Liz Hartke. I'm a mom of 6. We homeschool our kiddos, and I'm the strategist that gets brought in for family first founders who are ready to break into their big next and help you become the leader you're called to be so your business gives more than it takes. We've been sold this myth: to scale, you have to sacrifice everything for someday. You have to push harder. You have to be resilient. You have to keep going. You have to work more than everybody else. You have to trade that presence for continuous progress, because progress is the only metric that matters and productivity is the name of the game. But the truth is that most entrepreneurs aren't just missing bedtimes, whether it's you're actually missing bedtime or you're there in body, but not in spirit. They're not just missing those bedtimes because they're stuck in their office. They're missing them because their minds are still chained to the business, even when their bodies are right alongside their kids or right alongside their spouse. And that's a quiet ache, being there, but not really there. And it's more dangerous than any late night at the desk, because it erodes the very legacy you're trying to build. And more than anything, it's completely unproductive because you're not working, even though your mind's there, and you're not with your kids, even though your body's there. So you're not actually living into any of the things that you want to accomplish. So here's what no one else is telling you. Scaling isn't about adding more strategies or more hours or more hacks. It's about becoming the leader God's calling you to be in every corner of your life, because you are not compartmentalized, right? Let me break this down with a few truths that I've lived and taught to founders at the highest level. And the first is the presence gap. Most leaders think time is their biggest problem, and they think it's their biggest commodity, but it's really not. It's presence. It's quality of that time. If your mind is always at work, you're teaching your kids that they'll always come second to your business, even if you don't ever say those words. And closing that gap starts with choosing to protect presence as much as you protect profit. The second is the sweet spot shift. Okay, too many founders live in the quadrant of what I would call easy but heavy, right? The low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's going to make you money, the stuff that allowed you to stay in your competencies and what got you here. But what got you here isn't going to get you there. It's not going to take you into that next level. So the client work that you dread, the busy work that drains you, it's easy to justify, but it's totally heavy on your soul. So the leaders who truly scale live in a quadrant of hard but light, the challenge, the fight, the thing that's going to require the next level version of you. But when you think about it, it's light, right? Like it has a lightness to it. You know you're drawn to it. Writing that book, casting the vision, building the teams, it's stretching you, but it's setting you free. And then the legacy blocks. Forget time blocking just for meetings and launches. The most successful founders that I've had the privilege to come alongside, I know they block their legacy. Family dinners. Some of them it's Sabbath on the weekend. It's bedtime stories. It's quality time with their family. It's time to think and reimagine and dream. If you don't put them in ink and cultivate and codify those moments of legacy block into your life, your business will erase them in pencil. Okay. You have to make them real, make them tangible, make them measurable, show the evidence that you're being as intentional in those categories of your life as you are in your business. And then the thing that I think I learned the hard way, both in how I mentored people for the first half of my career, is scaling yourself first. Everyone's obsessed with scaling their business because it's like, oh, help me make more money. And once I make more money, then I can focus on myself. No, that's backwards. Your business cannot scale faster than your leadership. If you are capped in clarity or capacity or your conviction, your company is capped too. And the moment you start expanding yourself in your faith, in your leadership, in your discipline, the business follows that. And that's how you scale without missing what matters, without missing the opportunity to do the work that you're actually called to do instead of just living in the busy work that makes you feel productive. I worked with a client who thought her only way to grow was to keep saying yes, right? She was looking for all the right opportunities. And she was one of those people she reported this to me. She was present with her kids physically, but she admitted that her brain was totally somewhere else. Her nervous system was like so wound up, she couldn't just sit in those moments with her kids. So she was being robbed of the joy that her husband was able to experience when he was with the kids because she couldn't be there mentally, emotionally. So when we reworked her schedule around these blocks and shifted her into the hard but light work and closed that presence gap, she doubled her revenue in a small window of time. And she gained back time in her week because she was more focused on the things that move the needle anyway. And I remember her saying to me, I finally, for the first time in my 20-year career as a business owner, feel like an actual CEO and a mother to my children. That's a win. That's a success. So here's my challenge to you. Where in your life have you been physically present, but mentally absent? What would shift if you reclaimed that presence, if you closed that gap? Because scaling your business without missing bedtime isn't just possible and missing bedtime, right? Like mentally being there. It's the only way to build something worth keeping. You do not want to miss my next video because I am going to take you down the journey of how to do this even better. We're going to be talking strategy. Make sure you check it out. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss this one.